Hi, welcome to my channel. Yes, we're rolling slowly to 2018, but before the end of the year, I said to myself, I want to let go everything in my heart, everything, all the past, all the histories, everything. Let it go, take it all out, put it in the baggage, share it with people, bless someone with I don't know, bless someone with something. I feel like just letting out a whole lot of stuff, because 2018 I'm not taking anything with me. Everything else is gonna be gone by like the wind. But I want to share this because I know it might help certain people that are considering getting into a relationship, or they're feeling they can resonate or they can relate with some of the things that I've felt when I was going into a relationship, when I some of the mistakes that I've made. And if you're young and you're a teenager and you're thinking about dating, hopefully this video will help you to be able to do it the right way, do it God's way. You can learn from my mistake. Maybe I hope that would help you. I hope it would help you. Anyway, so I'm gonna just share with you how I got into an abusive relationship, what happened, how I could have reacted better to the relationship when it didn't work out, and why I even got into the relationship, why I left, and why I stayed. So yes, I've shared on my videos, the very first intro, that I had a history of being sexually abused, and I felt, in a way, I thought that I had gotten rid of the emotions associated with it, the trauma that was associated with it, but it was still deeply rooted in my subconscious mind, and I wasn't aware of that. And a lot of the causes of the decisions that I've made pretty much was from that. From that, and I wasn't really conscious of the decisions that I was making, that it was coming from a place of fear, a place of insecurity, and a place of hurt. So yes, I wasn't the type of person that like really dating guys. I don't really see myself, I don't run after guys that, oh, I want a guy to date me, or I want to be in a relationship with a guy. No, I'm always like really chilled, like, oh, if you like me, you're going to come to me, that kind of a thing. But a few things change after something happened in my life. Not really in my life, in a place of fear. I wasn't really sure, and I didn't have any clarity over my life, and I felt like, you know what, I needed to be in a relationship to solve that fear that I had. That, oh, you know what, I don't care if this has happened, I don't care if I've been abused in the past, I know I want to love, I want to open my heart to love, and I want to experience what love feels like. I've never been in a relationship up to the age of, I think the age of 20, was it 21? No, the age of 22. Yeah, I started to date at the age of 22. No, I think it's been probably 21. That was when I had my first boyfriend, and that was like my first love. Never really dated until the age of 21, I think. Yeah. Prior to that, my friends would always go out on dates, and I was always the third wheel, always following everybody. If you haven't been the third wheel on a date before, you know it really sucks. It sucks to be the third person, and the guys don't like it. They don't like when another female is on the date with a girl that they like. You go into the movies, like they want to do all this lovey-dovey thing, and because you're there, you're kind of killing the show. So I hated being the third wheel, and it started to get to me like, okay, all my friends are in relationships, all my friends are dating, they're always talking to their boyfriends. I wasn't jealous, but I started to feel like there was something wrong with me, that guys weren't approaching me, that it was like I was invincible. Like, how can you not see me? How can you not see me? But then now I realized that they couldn't see me because God was trying to protect me. They couldn't see me because I was under God's covering. I was under the shadow of the Almighty. but I didn't understand what that felt like, to be under grace. And I went into this relationship, met this guy through my friend, and before I knew it, we pretty much kind of like got it. I didn't even know, it kind of just, it was my first relationship, so I didn't really know how to even get to one, or how to get a title and things like that. But it was a really rapid relationship. I mean, after 2 months we're already talking about wedding and getting married and planning a wedding and things like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is interesting. Like, this guy must really love me so much to want to get married to me right away, like you know. And at that time I was still 21 years old, so I was like, okay, if he's really into this, as a serious guy, then it means that he loves me so much, and I would definitely want to surrender my heart to him. I would give my heart to him. And giving my heart to a guy for the first time was definitely it was a very huge step for me, because I was that girl that always, you know, you always self-sabotage yourself when a relationship is getting really serious, or a relationship you feel like you might be falling for someone. You kind of end it before it gets serious. You kind of end it before you get to say I love you, or the person gets to tell you they love you. And if they do love you, you find it difficult to acknowledge your feelings or validate their feelings. And I was that girl. I hate to say that I put guys in friend zone, but it was due to fear of not being able to commit to someone, fear of not being able to open up to another individual, or trusting another individual. And yes, unfortunately I was that girl. But this time was so serious. It was different, because I made up my mind that, you know what, I want to see what it feels like to be in a relationship, and I was going to force myself to like this person to love this person. So I gave him everything. And my friend told me that I needed to be careful, that they wouldn't recommend that I should get into a relationship with him. And I didn't listen. And I thought they were jealous of me. I believed everything that he had said, that, you know, my friends could have been jealous of me, and that's why they don't want to see me happy. And I believed that. And he might have come from a good place that he said that. He probably meant it, that, you know what, maybe that, you know, maybe he was just trying to encourage me. I'm not sure. And I started to miss my friends, and things kind of drifted after that, to the point where the relationship was more of a priority than my family. The relationship was more of a priority than everything else in my life, except for my education. Of course, I was serious in school, but the relationship pretty much took me away from the people that I've known, my friends, my family. And you know, it was like you travel miles to experience love, kind of a thing. And a lot of my friends really wanted to make sure that I was making the right decision. But again, I really thought that they must have been jealous of me. They must have been jealous of me. And it was so funny, because I started to even think that my family members could have been jealous of my relationship. There were no boundaries in place. I didn't even know what boundaries were. And I think that was where the problem really started. There was no plan, there was no goals for the relationship, only that we were always thinking about getting married. And I believe that both of us didn't really have the boundaries that we didn't understand what boundaries in relationship meant because of our upbringing. There wasn't a lot of reinforcement of boundaries and respecting other people's boundaries for her to have even been able to establish those boundaries in our relationship. And because of the lack of boundary when it comes to friends, and when it comes to activity, when it comes to the things that I like and the things that he likes, and because of the lack of boundary, the relationship was a chaos. It was a huge mess. It started off really good. We traveled a lot of places that I've truly enjoyed. A lot of money, of course, but the happiness wasn't there. It was like day by day, constantly felt like there was something taken, a little piece of me was taken away from me. To the point where I had lost my identity in the relationship. You know how they say that, oh yeah, women have to be submissive to men? It was kind of like the extreme kind of submissive where you're like, okay, you know what? I haven't done this relationship thing before and I want to give it all that it takes, including being a doormat. Pretty much that was what it was. And I don't want to say being a doormat as in that was what happened, but that was what eventually happened when the friends that I knew were taken out of the picture, when the family that I knew were taken out of the picture, and his family became my family, and his friends became my friends, and his hobbies became my hobbies, and his dislike became my dislike. So I didn't really have much for what I wanted, what I liked left, because I had gotten a whole lot of his own likes and a whole lot of his own hobbies and a whole lot of his own friends, and you know, just trying to be the right person, the right girlfriend, the right, you know. So he didn't have a problem with anything because he still had his friends, he still had his family, he still enjoyed the things that he enjoys and still disliked the things that he dislikes. But I, on the other hand, I left all that were important to me for the love that I found in a man. And I'm sharing this really because I've seen a lot of people that are making the same mistakes. I know we all learn from our mistakes, but why do you have to go through an experience when you can actually learn from other people's experiences? That when a toxic relationship where it doesn't just happen like that. It happens because there are not a lot of boundaries in place, or the lack of awareness of what boundaries are. You know, if you don't know what boundaries are, it will be very difficult for you to maintain or establish any boundary in your relationship. But yes, a lot of that happened, and eventually the person that you love so much, that you fancy so much, started to become your enemy. You started to hate the sight of this person. And this happens in a lot of marriages as well. It happens in a lot of marriages as well when people don't really talk about what they want in the relationship, and they don't really respect their partner's relationships. And just because you're with someone doesn't mean that they will have to leave everyone that they've known to be with you. You have to acknowledge every single member of that person's family, every of your friends. You may not necessarily be as close, but you have to be able to relate with them on a surface level, like, hey, hi, how are you doing? You know, with that being so emotionally attached and emotionally involved in the other person's life, they still have their own life. Even though you guys are together, even though you guys are in a relationship, and you still have your own life, you're still doing the things that you love to do, and you've not neglected those things, all in the name of I'm in a marriage relationship, or I'm in a dating relationship. You know, so a lot of that really just escalated. All that escalated to abuse. It escalated to abuse, and we just couldn't stand the sight of each other anymore. Now, what I want to say is, I could have reacted better. Yes, I could have reacted better and not put him on blast. You know, because I was definitely really hurt. Being that that was my first relationship, I didn't know how to handle the hurt, and I didn't know how to handle the pain. But I've learned greatly from my lessons, from my mistakes, and I just want to share it with you. That it's so important that when you're getting into a relationship, that you hold tight to your boundary, not in a very restrictive way that you're not able to connect to your partner, but in a way that you still have some sanity, you still have some of what you love, you still have some of your identity with you while you're in a relationship with this individual. And you're not going to deny them of those things. Also, you're not going to deny them of the liberty that they of being around their family member, of being themselves around their friends, of doing what they love, and you know, if they have to play games, they're playing games. If they, you know, you love to, I love to sew, I love to do other things besides that, or creating things, and I wouldn't want another person to come into my life and change that. Now I know definitely I'm gonna stand my ground. I don't know, like, you don't like it, to walk away, that's fine. And it's also important to listen to your friends. Like, please, your friends, they know you better than this new person that you just met. Your friends, they truly care about you. They want the best for you. There's certain things that your friends will see about this individual that you may not be able to see because you're blinded with, oh, I love this person, oh, this person has bought me this person has bought me that. You know, and for me, it wasn't like, oh, this person has bought me this, or we're traveling everywhere. It was the fact that, okay, I've made the decision to actually love this person, and I've really opened up my heart to this person, and I didn't want to take that back. I really want to stick with the plan. Like, you know what, I want to do this, and I want to do it for real. I want to really do this for real. Like, if I love you, I want to express that love, that, okay, I love you. You know, without being afraid that maybe you might hurt me, or you're going to break my heart. So, but it was an extreme kind of love. I think that's what I would call it, because a love that is shared without. If one doesn't have a relationship with God, and that time, even though I went to church, I didn't have a relationship with God to understand what love really feels like. I felt like if I had had a relationship with God, it would have been better. It would have been better, but I didn't have a relationship with God, and He also didn't really wasn't really too into God as much. So that kind of affected our relationship a lot. So yes, your friends can see things that you can't see, and it's always good to listen to your friends. When you're going out on a date trying to get to know this person, make sure that you're actually going out as a group, not just going out as in, oh, it's just you and I, we're going out and things like that. No, go out as a group. Let other people be around you while you're going out with this person. I can't tell you that this person is going to be perfect. When it comes to character, honestly, people from my world, people from the side of my realm, we usually fail character tests. And I'm just going to tell you that if you're light in the middle of darkness, most likely a lot of us fail the character test, because we're not used to boundaries. We're not used to well, I don't want to say respect nor other people's boundaries, but we're not familiar with what boundaries are, and we have to be educated on those things. We have to be educated on the right way to be in a relationship. And if you have to do that as a partner, if you have to tell your partner, if you have to educate your partner, then do so. Encourage your partner to spend time with their friends. Encourage your partner to spend time with their family. And you can balance that, the relationships, even though you may not see it as, oh, it's a big deal that your partner is always with you every time, but eventually it's going to take a lot from your partner. It's going to take a lot from your partner when there's time to feel like you're choking them. You may never feel that. You may never see the relationship drifting towards that side, because you still have your friends, you still have your hobby, and you have to remind your partner to reach out to their friends, reach out to their family members, so that they're not so they're not so overwhelmed with you being there every time. you know, a lot of times you don't know how to say it, because maybe this person has never dated someone before. Maybe you were like their lucky Prince Charming, and you know, they're just treating you like an egg. They're pretty much walking on an egg being in a relationship with you. They're not sure if you know, if you're the real deal or not. So a lot of times we females, I don't know if it's a gender thing, but I think majority of us fall into that category where we give a relationship with everything it takes, and we neglect the important relationships that are in our lives because we've met this person. So yes, listen to your friends. Make sure that you involve God in the relationship. Make sure that you acknowledge God before getting into the relationship. Yes, I didn't acknowledge God. I didn't ask God, hey, do you think this man is right for me? I saw not being approached by guys as a negative thing. I saw not being approached by guys as oh, maybe it's because I'm ugly, or maybe it's because I'm not attractive, that's why guys are not really coming to me and they're telling me, hey, I want to date you, or I want to go out with you. I felt like because guys didn't come to me directly to tell me that I needed to take the step, and I needed to make the decision of actually forcing myself or getting myself into some kind of relationship. So the curse the curse of being single will not be on top of my head, you know. So but what I didn't understand was that God was trying to protect me. God wanted me to stay under his shadow. God wanted to protect me, and he wanted to save me for a man that he is destined for me to marry. A man that he has approved for me to marry. He wanted me to just be in his presence. Man, now I appreciate that. So I just want to tell you, if you're single, if you're young, if you're a teenager, you're 18, you're 16, you know, when you go to high school, that's when you start seeing all these people. You see all your classmates. Everyone is having boyfriend, everyone is having girlfriends. They're doing all this lovey-dovey, kissing behind the locker. Some are having sex in the school, and you're like, okay, what's wrong with me? Am I just a nerd? Why is nobody talking to me? Maybe I should wear more makeup. I should do my eyebrow like that. Maybe some of these guys will notice me, and maybe you should wear short skirts or something that will reveal your body. Maybe someone will finally just notice you. Please, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you that it's a good thing that you're not being seen. It's a good thing that you're invincible. I know what it feels like. It feels kind of funny. It feels kind of a bit strange that all your friends have boyfriends or girlfriends, and nobody is talking to you. Nobody is seeing you. But it's for a good reason. I'm telling you, God loves you so much, and he cares about you. He's trying to protect you. He's trying to protect you. They can't see you. They cannot see you because you're under the shadow of the Almighty. You're under grace. You're under his umbrella. No man has the right to come talk to you if he doesn't have a relationship with God. No man has the right to come approach you if it doesn't know what love feels like. God treats you, it treats us like an egg. You're God's masterpiece. You're a jewel. You're an expensive piece of work. It wouldn't just want to touch you to just anybody, to be used and trampled and be tossed around. It cares about you, and if nobody is approaching you, it's for a good reason. I wish I knew this, but it's okay. I'm not regretting, because now I can share these mistakes with you, and hopefully you are able to make the right decisions. That it's okay to wait. It's okay that you're not being approached, and if a guy approaches you and it doesn't fit into your criteria, then you know what? Just keep waiting. Just keep yourself, because you know what? At the end of the day, this is it. At the end of the day, you still have to wait. Ah, Lord have mercy. At the end of the day, you still have to wait. At the end of the day, I'm here and I'm still waiting. It's not like guys are not approaching me. Yeah, now now it's funny because now I'm being approached by, yeah, married men. And then the younger ones that are coming, they're like, I'm just like, oh Lord, no, sorry, I'm sorry, I'm going to wait. But at the end of the day, you still have to wait, because you don't want to keep making the same mistakes. You know better to wait. You know better that, okay, you know what, it's better to do it God's way. It's better to do it God's way. So if you're young, please listen to your friends. And there's another book that I really want to share with you. It's called Boundaries in Dating. All of a sudden I've mentioned, and a lot of all the things actually in that book. That book, I found it really, really helpful. And please just take every single word in that book, take it seriously. It makes so much sense. Take it seriously. Take it seriously. And other things to watch out for is you being manipulated in a relationship. Like, you know, they always, if someone is always taking their need before your need, or you don't consider yourself, you don't consider what you might lose from giving something out. That's not a good thing, especially if you're dating someone and they're telling you and trying to manipulate you that you have to give sex because they love you, because they want to show that they love you. And if you have sex with them, then that means that they love you and they care about you. I would definitely not want to do that. If any man comes to you and tells you that the way to express love when you're married, when you're not married to them, is by having sex and opening up your bodies to them, they don't really love you. Honestly, being there and done that, they don't love you. If he loves you, it's going to wait. If it loves you, it would never touch you. It would never even stir up your feelings. It would never stir up your emotion if he's not ready to commit to you. And if a man wants to really commit to you, it doesn't really have to rush the relationship. Like, I want to get married to you tomorrow. No. It respects you enough to go to your family and talk to your family. That's what godly men do. Because they know that someone has raised you up. They're not going to bypass your family and go directly to oh, let's get married tomorrow. No. It's not just an African thing. It's something that everybody does. It's proper. That's the proper way to date someone else's child. You're someone else's child. That's the proper way to date someone else's child. It means that you respect that person. You respect the relationship that they're coming from. You love that person so dearly. Because when you hurt that person, it just shows that you're a serious person. You're someone with integrity. Now, some people have done the same thing. They visited other people's family members and they're still messed up. They didn't have the right motive to begin with. But not all people fall into that category. Not all people fall into that category. So that's just my piece of cake on this topic. Yes, if you do end up breaking up with someone or a relationship didn't work out, it's better to resolve the issue with the person personally and find a ground. I mean, end it well enough that you could still be able to be friends with this individual. Now, for me, my relationship ended up with physical abuse, and it only happened once. And I made up my mind. I said, if he really loves me, he would never lay his hands on me. It doesn't matter how much I love this person. If you lay your hand on me, I don't think I want to love you anymore. Like, I think I still had that with me. Even though all my identity, I've kind of pretty much tossed it in the trash. That was the only thing that I had. That's, you know what? My friends have said a few things. I didn't want to go with what my friends have said because they're not the one in a relationship with the person. I'm the one in a relationship with this person. But if you will lay your hand on me, that's the end. No, you're not coming. Oh yeah, you're going to beg me and you're going to give me flowers. You can keep your flowers. That's okay. And yes, I accept your apology, but I'm not staying with you. It doesn't mean that I hate you. It doesn't mean that you're the worst human on the planet. No. It means that I love myself enough, and I love you enough to leave you. Because when you leave someone that has they're starting to become really aggressive, give them some time to recover. It's a spiritual battle. It's a spiritual issue. Now I know what it feels like to be in that phase. It's a spiritual issue, but you love them enough. I'm not even talking about loving yourself. So yes, a lot of people stay in an abusive relationship because they love this person. They've shared with you their personal issues, their backgrounds. I know, and that's what gets us a lot. You know this person's background and you feel so sorry, like, oh my gosh, that happened to you, or this happened to you, and the emotion and attachment is there. And you don't want to break. It's not easy to really break loose from that. But I'm telling you, if you love this person that much, you need to separate from them. You need to let them be, let God help them, let God heal their hurt, let God heal their disappointment, let God fix them. Now if you still love them enough to go back to them, well, that's totally up to you. I'm talking about dating. I'm talking about being in a relationship that doesn't I'm not talking about marriage relationship, because I already talked about marriage relationship later in some of my videos. You're going to have to go watch that later if you're married and you're being abused, because that can definitely happen. This man spent a lot of money on your wedding and it seemed like the nice guy, and now you're in a relationship and it's totally different. So I've shared some of what you can do, backing it up with biblical facts of how you can handle this situation without publicizing it, without making him feel like he's a beast, like everybody calls men that beats their women and things like that, and still be able to communicate and relate with this person. That's why a lot of people have reunions. They will have to separate from this person. Let them get their relationship with God's rolling. Let God heal their pain. Let God heal their hurt. And at the right time, at God's timing, there will be a reunion. But when it comes to, you're not married to this person, yeah, it's definitely good. It's a good thing to just separate. The signs are there. Yes, they have their history. Yes, they have their stories to share. However, if God has not approved you to marry this person, definitely not the way to go. Even if God has approved you to marry this person, I'll definitely want them to get on a very good ground with God and their relationship with God, because only God can fix that problem, not you. You can, the flowers will work for your own. You get the flowers every time, you get the gifts and chocolates every time, you get to go on a really nice dinner date or cruise date or whatever, just things to just make you forget and keep that reassurance of his love in your heart bubbling. However, that hurt is still there. That feeling of I don't feel like you love me, because if you really do, you're not going to lay your hands on me. So if you're in a relationship like that, it's time to just separate. You don't have to marry this person, and if you really do want to get married to this person, it's totally up to you. I would definitely consider separating from them for a long time, not a while, a long time, while they get into their relationship. And yes, you're going to need someone as well. You're going to need a support system. What I wished, yes, when I got out of that relationship, I wish I had really accepted the support of my friends. There's so many times in my life that I've actually been through some like back things were just happening. It was like a shrine. Things were happening, and all the steps that I was taking, my friends were kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't like the direction that she's going. And it was like, I didn't understand that I needed help. I didn't understand that I needed shoulders to cry on. I didn't understand that I could really hug someone. I didn't understand that I could cry. I didn't understand that I could cry, because all my life I believe that strong women don't cry. Oh yeah, I was raised that way. Strong women don't cry. Strong women don't cry. You don't share your pain and let everybody know what you're going through. And let people be asking you, oh, are you okay? Is everything alright? But I'm just telling you that support systems are really great, especially when you have friends that actually do care about you. They're really, really great. They're really, really great. And I'm saying it now because I really, at the point where I needed support, I missed it. I missed it, and it had gotten so much, and the pain and the hurt it had accumulated so much that I had lost my mind completely. So if you're going through a difficult time, you're having troubles in your relationship, things are happening that you don't really understand, and you really don't want to keep it to yourself, it's time to let someone get involved. Definitely tell a trusted friend, someone that you know that really cares about you and will tell you the truth about your relationship, I will tell you the truth. So that's what I really have to share on this topic. Make sure that you handle it well, even if they're abusive. Make sure that you handle the relationship well, because you just never know what might happen in the future. You never know if by at any chance you may be of help to this person, not just in a relationship wise, but you may be of help to that person, or that person may even be of help to you. So it's always good to leave the relationship, whether you were abused or not abused, to leave the relationship on a good note. And also the relationship that I've also been formed through your relationship. So if you've been friends with the person's friend, also make sure that you also leave that on a good note. So you're not pretty much shooting everybody with the bullets with your words because you're leaving someone. So that's what I have to share on this topic. I hope it makes so much sense to you. I hope you were blessed. I hope this helps you. If you're in an abusive relationship, please, you need to separate. You need to separate. You love this person enough to separate from them. Let them have a relationship with God. Love yourself enough to separate from this person. Okay? So that's it. Love you. It's okay to be single. Keep waiting. Bye. God bless you.